But now we're going to talk to Andy about Franz Hass's Pinot Nero. I spent an hour today with Franz. He's obviously in love with Pinot Nero. He's doing some crazy things. People might call him crazy for doing them, but they seem to be really spectacular projects. Can you talk a little bit about the history of Franz Hass, the winery, and then we can talk a bit about the Pinot Nero a bit?
Yes, hello, thank you, Greg. Franz Hass Winery now is a family-owned winery. We have lots of family-owned wineries as well in Alto Adige. Franz Hass was established in 1881. Originally, the family had 6 wineries, but they lost all of them by arguments because of heritage.
Are they Italian? They sound more Italian than Sudtirolese.
Yeah, and so Franz's father restarted in 1948 after the Second World War with half a hectare. And
it's just over, it's like an acre and a half.
Yeah.
Less than an acre and a half. That's how we restarted.
So very, very small. And now we have 55 hectares of vineyards, and 1/3 of the production is Pinot Noir. So, as Greg said, Franz, he's very passionate of Pinot Noir. He lives for Pinot Noir. For example, last year he produced his almost 700 different Pinot Noir. So every year he produced between 17 and 50 different styles of Pinot Noir, different vinifications, different altitudes, different soils, different treatments.
So this to me is interesting because this is sort of, everybody sort of said this in one way or another. It seems like there's a new generation of people who, now that you're probably somewhat comfortable financially, are saying, okay, we grow Pinot Nero, and now let's find out where we grow the best Pinot Nero. And maybe we put Gewürztraminer where we used to have some Pinot Nero. So I think there's a lot of exploration, discovery going on, which is also surprising because the Alto Adige is not it's not New Zealand. You didn't start 30 years ago.
No.
But Franz is absolutely focused on finding the best positions, best spots for Pinot Nero.
Yeah, and in 2000, so more than 10 years ago, he started to go higher with the vineyards. And as you know, by law, since until July 2010, it was the limit in height was 500 meters for. So it was forbidden to plant new vineyards or to extend vineyards over 500 meters, and. But Franz, he wanted to do it, and when the authorities said so, we want to go against it, to sue you. He said, okay, I'm going to the EU
in Brussels
in Brussels to say you abuse your authority, and he believed in this planting in high altitude because of the progressive climate changing. For example, the Pinot Noir needs cool climate, and in the typical and most vocated areas like Mazzone, it's 350 meters, more or less 300 meters. It's getting warmer and warmer every year, and we have spectacular, very good results in the high altitude vineyards. And
this is high. This is 1,250 meters.
This year we planted the highest is 1,150 meters now.
Okay. And so I was up there today. It's a beautiful spot. There's cows and a field and a vineyard facing south. we don't know about the wines yet. It's going to take a couple of years more to get some grapes and then to see get them. Yeah. But we have the Pinot Noir he produces now. So where does the fruit for Franz Hass's Pinot Noir come from today?
So the Pinot Noir, this one we are going to taste is the classic line. The classic line is the main production of our Pinot Noir. So every vineyard is vinified separately. So Franz knows which vineyard can play with new oak, with used oak. The aging takes place in barrels, in new barrels, in used barrels, from new till 4 times used. The alcoholic fermentation takes place mainly in stainless steel, and a part in tonneau, and then the aging for 12 months more or less in barriques. And it is a very elegant Pinot Noir, fruity, black cherry, raspberry, and for me it's very typical to have the wild small strawberries we find in the forest, and very soft tannins
and good acidity.
And the good acidity, yes.
So this is I think this is probably pretty typical of Alto Adige Pinot Noir. It's not as heavy or intense as a lot of other regions. New Zealand makes Pinot Noir, which is sort of similar in a way, but it's much fruitier and softer. And then, of course, California and Oregon have much bigger wines. So this is sort of, if you're going to find Pinot Noir that's very medium weight, lightweight outside of Burgundy, this is probably the next step. Might not be quite as good as Burgundy, but it's also less expensive. So it's in that, but it's in that style, absolutely, like a village Burgundy.
Yeah, yeah, and people are always very surprised about the color when we pour our Pinot Noir.
I think you poured me the rosé.
almost, yes. But they are really surprised about the fruitiness and the potential of the Pinot Noir, the Alto Adige Pinot Noirs.